So this is essentially me trying to explain or teach you how I'm able to put stories together. I would say it's simple, straightforward. If you understand the process and how to go about it, it makes it even a bit more easier. Whenever I want to do a story, there are some apps I use. I use ChatGPT, I use Grok, I use CapCut, I use Gemini, sometimes I use Claude, and I use Google as well. Okay, so before I do any story, obviously I could use Claude, but I prefer ChatGPT at this point. And for the purposes of this training, I'm gonna use ChatGPT to do this. So for example, I've got a story idea. I want to do a story on, say, a little boy who dropped out of school but became rich later in life. Let's say I'm doing a story like that. Okay, so this is the idea I've conceived to do this story. The first thing I'll do is to go straight to ChatGPT. All right. Now, when I go to ChatGPT, what I'm going to tell ChatGPT is simple. I've got my own script, prompt, and all of that there. But again, for the purposes of this training, I'll be straightforward with some of the things to make it a bit more easier for you. Now, as I would say, please write a story for me as a professional storyteller and script writer involving a little boy who dropped out of school and became rich later in life, right? I'll go ahead. So in the prompts, you could always go ahead and tell ChatGPT a lot of information, basically about the things you want to see reflect in the story. So I could go a bit more and say, let this boy have a round face, trimmed hair, and be 19. I'll say a little boy, I said, because of underage policies and all of that, I may say involving a boy, and I could give him about 18 or 20 years. Let's say 18 years, yeah? And be 18 years old. All right. I'd go ahead and say, let the story be captivating, suspenseful, and creative in nature. So this is my script prompt for ChatGPT. What I'm going to do basically is to click on this, send, and straight away the story is developed for me. Now, there was something I didn't do here. So ChatGPT may write the story for you without really indicating the scenes of the story. All right. So if you miss that out, then obviously you won't be able to get it structured well. So what I'll do, I'll scroll back. ChatGPT is going to give me a lot of scenes for this. So I'll restrict ChatGPT. And so, like I said, develop the habit of controlling what the AI assistant is going to give you. Otherwise, you may end up getting things that you don't necessarily need. If you don't restrict it and obviously prompt it or direct it as to where you want to go or where you want to carry the story, you may not be able to get what you need to get. All right. So if you realize any mistake, quickly try and correct it and move on. So what I'll tell ChatGPT is that please write a story for me as a scriptwriter. And so I'll just say write a 4-scene story for me as a professional storyteller, blah blah blah. So let's see what ChatGPT gives me here. Brilliant. So 4 scenes straight away. So that's scene 1, that's scene 2, that's scene 3, and scene 4. Okay. After doing this, and it's even giving you the cliffhanger opening hook. Now the cliffhanger is usually done at the end of the story. So an end note or end screen sort of thing that transition the audience into the next episode. So if I've got about 3 episodes for a story, every episode would give you a cliffhanger. So it would give you something to hold on to. So at the end of the story, I would say, what happened to the boy? What happened to the man? Was he able to make it after that? Something like that. So audiences would always be expecting to find out what next in that. So that's the cliffhanger in there. What I'm going to do after this is usually I used Google AI Assistant to do my dialogue and action prompt, and because I've used it a couple of times and it's detailed from there. So what I would usually do is that I'll copy the story. Yeah, come down here, click on this, copy the story. Now once I copy the story, I come straight here. So I type hi to Google Assistant and then ask anything. That's where I put. So I put the story here. And on top of here, let me scroll up. Yeah, I'll put on top of here. Please provide me with the dialogue and action prompt on the story below. Yeah, click on it. Let's see what we get. So this is what Google Assistant has given me. Scene 1, the end of a dream, contains emotion, so humiliation and pain. So it gives you the action prompts. It gives you the characters in there, so that we have the principal, Daniel, principal, student. Okay, so this is what you need, obviously. It's giving you the character count, so 135. So it helps you to know where to copy what and put in there video or animation AI app to be able to generate your video. So we've got the details we need for the 4-scene story. So this is the dialogue and action prompt. What I'll do essentially is to copy it. Now when I copy it, I usually bring it back to ChatGPT. I love my stuff to be put here for easy reference. I'll put it back to ChatGPT and I click on it. It would provide me with a few details, make some suggestions, etc. And it would to rewrite it, as it were, and give you a bit more details as to how the story must unfold. Yeah. So like I said, because I didn't say anything and I just dropped the story there, obviously that's what ChatGPT is going to give me. It won't give me anything beyond what I would directly be asking for. In other words, what I simply want to say is that because I just put in the dialogue there, it's a bit confused. It will just provide what it thinks. But I would have to direct it and say, well, this is what I want. So again, I'll go back to my prompt, dialogue and action prompt. So I'll type here, just put the dialogue together nicely by spacing it out so it could be properly referenced. Okay. So dialogue and action prompts together. And then just beneath it, I will paste the full dialogue and action prompt there. Click on send. And nicely put, ChatGPT has done that for me. Okay. So I've got the boy they call the failure. I've got the scene 1 here. I've got the action. I've got the dialogue. Scene 2, I've got the action. I've got the dialogue. So usually I do this before I proceed with the image prompt, because my image prompt is usually a reflective of what is in the dialogue. So I want my image to reflect the details in the dialogue. Otherwise, if you do image prompt before dialogue, you may end up getting some characters in the dialogue which may not be in the image. So what I do is do the dialogue and action prompt first before I do my image prompt. So I'll just come here and tell ChatGPT, give me an image prompt for all scenes in this story. And I've got my hack, I've got my master character consistency hack that gives me a detailed, a detailed analysis, or a detailed, essentially it gives me a very detailed way of, expressing the kind of character I want. So once I put in that consistency master lock, it talks about the sort of character I need, which will obviously be a 3D stylized character who has a human body and all of that, but it's still a 3D. Okay, so we give you all the features in the background. I've got that here. You may not have it, but I've got it here pinned. So all I'll do is to click on it as part of what I've already written for ChatGPT. I'll click on this and boom, I've got that master character consistency. So I've got the image prompt. What I'll do, the first one, this is the scene 1. I'll copy this prompt. So the next thing I'm going to do, once I've got my image prompt, what I'm going to do essentially is to generate the image. Okay. So I'm doing the image for scene 1. I've copied it. I'll come open my Gemini app. So Gemini is opened. I'll drop it here. Click on send. Because there is an 18-year-old boy named Daniel. I'll be surprised if Gemini is going to create this image. It may likely say they can generate images of teenager. Oh, we are lucky. It's been done. Right. So this is the image we got. Let me indicate it a bit. Okay. So we've got this image. What I'll do is to save the image, right? So that will be for the scene 1. Okay, I love to do scene 2. So let's see. Come here, scroll down, you do scene 2. Copy this here. Come back to Gemini, paste everything here, and then boom. So it's simply generating. So like I said, a few things are really important. Get your story idea put in ChatGPT, and then you can pick up the story, go on Google AI Assistant, get your dialogue and action prompt, bring it back to ChatGPT to rearrange it nicely for you. Because the reason why I do that is that you can leave it on Google AI Assistant and copy it from there for your story. But because AI Assistant on Google does not save the page, you may lose it by misclicking something and all your dialogue will be gone. So I copy it, bring it to ChatGPT so I can keep it there anytime I want to refer to, or if I'm able to finish the scene or finish with the story editing that day, at least I have it there to be able to keep it for a while. Okay, so that's what I do. Obviously, this is not what you want. It's only giving you the head. Let me see. So it's giving us some image that we don't, it doesn't look nice. So we'll try it again and see if we can get something different. Again, if you want something different, what you can do is to change the prompt a bit. So this one says small, humble Nigerian room at night. Daniel sitting alone beneath a dim kerosene lantern. So maybe the lantern is what is confusing there. Sitting alone beneath a dim light. Okay. So I've just changed the prompt a bit. Let's see if we can get something different from what we did get earlier. All right. So I copy the dialogue and image, dialogue and action prompt, like I said, from there to ChatGPT, so I can have a copy there for future use. That's all I do. You can leave yours there. It's entirely your choice. All right. Yeah. So it's giving us a new image, obviously. I'll save this one as well. For the purposes of this training and how things are done, I am not going into detail. I'm not going to download all the images, but I'll just do the first 2 scenes. I've got this. I've got the other one for the 2 scenes. Now, when you get the image, then you obviously have through the job. Okay. You have through the job. So just bear with me. Oh, these are other things I'm doing. All right, don't worry. We've got the images already. So bingo. We are going back to ChatGPT. So I would refer back to where we had the action and dialogue prompt, or the action and dialogue details. Now I've got the first 2 images, so we are good to go. Now we can animate the story and create our video. Okay, so you see it's really quite simple and straightforward. You just need to know the steps, master the prompt and the art of getting things done. Once you do that, it's a straightforward thing and you'll be able to go ahead and do it. So I'll pick up the scene 1 from here, action, the other, I'll copy everything to the dialogue. It's 135. Usually I would advise that you do it one after the other, the dialogue. So you copy this one. When we are done, we'll come to the Daniel dialogue, copy it and put it in the video prompt. Sorry, put it in the video, the AI app or animation video app, so you can generate it one after the other. If you copy the whole thing, because it's just 10 seconds. I use Grok in doing this. It's just 10 seconds there. And so if you copy more than 135 characters of words, or if you copy more than the first dialogue, you may not be able to speak all the things you would want in that dialogue. So I would advise that you do it one after the other. I may not have enough allowance to generate any video, okay, but I'm going to show you how those videos are generated. First and foremost, you click on this one. Just bear with me. Yeah, I'll drop that here. I'm on imaging already. So for those of you who use Grok, obviously this is how the interface is. If you want to create a video, you come to imaging, something that I've clicked on already. I don't have any allowance. It's 0 here because I've exhausted everything. I edited some videos earlier, so I don't have any allowance. Nothing at all at this point. But what I usually do is that once I come here, I click here, paste my prompt. I'll space it out a bit. Yeah. And then whichever video I want to create, so this is the first scene, click on this one and the picture will be the reference image. So once I click on the send, Grok would generate the video for me based on the prompt or the dialogue prompt I've given here. Okay, so it's that simple. You upload the image, you copy the dialogue and the action, you click on this. I don't have allowance, I would have done that. And then your video is made. Now, when your video is made, you could get something like this. I'm going to take you back to Grok. When your video is made, you can get something like this.
Please don't leave me like this.
See this video
We
playing.
created this problem together. Please don't leave me like this. We created this problem together.
You get it?
Please don't leave me like this. We created this problem together.
Right, so you're going to get something like that as your video. And then when you get the video, I'm going to use an old video that I've made to edit on CapCut. Okay, so when you have got your video and you've saved it, then you click on CapCut, new video. Will take you to your gallery. You choose any of the videos you want to work on. So let's say I'm choosing this video. Right. So let's play it and see. Okay. So if this is a video I want to use, maybe I feel it's too long for me to reduce it. So I'll just go ahead, come to the edge here. If I want to reduce the length of the video, I'll just reduce it. I'll move it a bit here. So you put your hand on the edge here and you just move it. Okay. You make it a bit smaller. A bit smaller. Yeah. You have to move it to where the line is. Okay. So you do it in that order. In that order. Alright. So the video is up to the length that I want. Now if there is any other video, what I would have done is to bring the line here to the edge, and I'll click on this plus sign. Now if I'm satisfied with everything that I have done, satisfied with all that I have made, all I'll do is to simply export. Okay, so once I click on export, it would export the video. Add any voice notes or any sound to it, you can go ahead and do it. If you want to add any sound, you click on audio, you'll be able to add the sound. If you want to add text on the screen or on the video, be able to do that with text, etc. If you want to make any overlay, captions, all of that are here. So the CapCut app has many options that you could explore. Now, when I'm satisfied with this video, all I'll do is to click on export it, and it will be saved on CapCut and in my gallery as well for easy reference. And that's when I post it out to lovely people like you. So this is just a brief of how the video is done, how the story is created from scratch to the time the video is edited and posted on YouTube. I hope this helps. If you've got any questions, you can come back to me privately, or you could leave a comment there, and I'm going to read through all of that and share a bit more light on some of the things I've mentioned today. Thank you very much for your time today. Hopefully we're able to do this again another time.